All right, first up, we got Share the Review. We'll review one of the latest movies that we just saw. The big movie for this week was Us, which is why I got the Get Out Blu-ray right here. You probably can't see it in the screen because I ain't found no fancy way to hold it up there, but
that movie.
This is the movie I'm not getting paid to promote because Jordan Peele did Get Out. Us is his second feature film. So, just as an opening statement, what did you think about Us? So just a quick statement about it, and then we're going to move into what we liked and disliked about the joint.
Quick statement. Compared to Get Out, I was disappointed.
All right. Me, this movie intrigued me. It's intriguing, and it's hard to say. It's hard to say, like, on the levels of love or hate. Mm-hmm. I'm more just into the fact that it was intrigued. I was intrigued by it. So let's start up first off with the positives.
All right, major spoilers coming now.
Yeah, this movie. For one, this movie is impossible to talk about without spoiling it. I don't know how people have been writing reviews that were put together well and not spoiling the movie much, but I can't do it. So let's start off with one thing that you liked about Us.
One thing that I liked about Us.
And not Us as in Us. Us as in the movie.
What am I talking about, me and you?
I'm just making sure.
What's the girl's name? Lupita?
Yep, Lupita Nyong'o.
Lupita Nyong'o. I think that she did a good job in the movie. And...
But why did she do a good job?
Her acting skills were good. Like, she played both her characters well, in my opinion.
Was there any, moment that stood out to you that she throughout her performance?
When she was playing the tethered version of herself, the
Red.
Yeah, when she played Red and she made Red speak, I feel like she did a good job just portraying who Red was.
And that is
someone who was locked away underground for years.
So she gave off that she was able to distinguish themselves from each other.
Yes, I think that she did a good job.
Distinguishing the characters.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of something else I liked. The plot of the movie was good.
No, we just said one thing.
Oh, just one. Okay.
Yeah, just one thing. So you liked her acting.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I definitely agree. I thought when I first saw it, because I saw this movie twice, I thought that it was good, but I wasn't I think I was more I was paying attention to so many things when I was watching it the first time because I knew this was going to be one of the movies where you needed to pay attention a lot so you could better understand it in the end. So I think I was distracted by that. So her performance, I caught it. I thought she did well the first time around. Mm-hmm. I wasn't able to fully take it in. So then the second time I watched it, I was able to really understand why she did well. Her playing Adelaide and her playing Red, I thought if you separate them, those were still good performances. But when you put them together, made her performance great because she didn't have enough time as both of them to just have a great leading lady performance that something that will stick around for the whole year. They were just good on their own, but the fact that she played both characters well and you pair them together, I think that'll make it more memorable throughout the whole year. There's a moment when she's speaking out the window, or she's looking out the window when she's talking to Gabe when they're in the bedroom, and she's not looking at the camera.
Yeah.
I thought as Adelaide, that was probably one of her best performance scenes in the movie besides the parts where she was slowly letting you know that she was a tethered person.
Me out.
Yeah, because she was able to portray a bunch of emotions without looking at the camera. And I know that's got to be
It seemed like her voice was changing or something, so it creeped me out.
It might have been. I thought she was just you could just tell that she was really going through something. And she did it all by the inflections in her voice and the way she delivered it. I thought that was great. And then every time Red, or who we think is Red, every time she spoke, I thought it was another way that she was showing her greatness because it was so different from how she was doing Adelaide. Like you said, the way she was speaking as somebody who hasn't spoken forever, so it was hard to do that. She sounded completely different, and just the way she was delivering that, and also the way she distinguished the movements. Red moved so precisely and so smooth. Everything was precise. The way she just moved, it wasn't just like a normal person, where Adelaide just moved like a normal person. So, all right. Can you tell me something else you liked about the movie?
The plot overall was a good plot. It's just, it was a good plot. You know, the thought of your alter ego or whatever you want to call it, your tethered personality coming after you. That can be scary when you think about it. Like if that was real life, you got creeped out with someone who looked exactly like you was trying to kill you. So I think that the plot itself was kind of cool.
So you like doppelganger plots?
Yeah, the doppelganger thing is kind of cool.
Okay. So you didn't like Enemy, but
Because Enemy was weird.
we're gonna okay. Ain't gonna get on
Right,
that
let's not go there.
Yeah.
You brought it up.
I'm just saying. If we're talking about doppelgangers, yeah, I think it was an intriguing plot. Like it meshed with the horror vibe of the movie well. So I do agree with that. Something I liked about the movie was the score. I thought the score was excellent. It was one of my from right now, from off of memory, it's one of my favorite, if not my favorite, horror score since It Follows. Because I really love the score in It Follows. That's still one of my favorite movie scores of all time. This one, I thought, just comparing it to horror movies right now, like it's definitely, I can see it easily being one of the best scores of the year. But horror-wise, I thought the way he played with actual songs, and then flips of those actual songs, and then the way he incorporated in certain scenes on top of, your original pieces, all with those little terrifying sound effects that you throw in all horror movies. I thought he did a great job mixing those, and then still the way he did, I got 5 on it. That still is an amazing. The way he twisted that song, I think, is amazing. The score during the opening credit scene is amazing. It distracts you from how long that number is. Just the stretching of the bunnies or the rabbits or whatever. The song during that, it didn't feel long to me just because I liked the song. The song I thought was awesome. All right. Anything else that you can pinpoint that you liked about the movie? All right. Besides the acting, we talked about that. I mean, Winston Duke, I thought he did a good job, but we might touch on that in a second. The twist. I want to talk about the twist real quick.
I mean, the twist was cool. I kind of knew it.
Yeah, it wasn't like a shocking twist.
No, it wasn't.
But that's not what I like about it. Like I'm a sucker for twists, whether they're ones that come out of left field or ones that like you go back and watch like, oh, they basically gave clues to it. Like it wasn't really a twist. It just you weren't paying attention to it, as the movie didn't want you to pay attention to it. So when they told it to you, it was like, oh, but if you were really paying attention the whole time to everything, you would have seen it wasn't a twist. It was something in plain sight. With this movie, it was on the latter. It wasn't a shocking twist at all. You saw it coming, and he basically leads you there. Like he basically slowly reveals things about Adelaide to make it to let you know that she's actually Red, and Red is actually Adelaide. Or I mean, I guess you don't even have to say it like that. She's actually the tethered version.
She's the one who was actually born in the basement.
Yeah. So, but when you go back and watch it, the different signs that he gives you, the way he slowly reveals it, I thought was amazing. Like you have the color red. I was watching it the first time and I was like, why is he making that apple so predominantly red? Like it's so noticeable as opposed to everything else around it. I mean, so you have that, you have the red and the thriller words, you got the exit sign, the eyes and the owl, and then how the color red plays into, it's such a major thing to Red down when she's in the tethered world, whatever underground, whatever you want to call it. She makes everybody wear red. Her name is Red. It's just a big sign for her because that's the last thing that she's seen or last noticeable thing she's seen when she was above ground. So it's like she formatted that in the words in the, I almost said "Make America Great Again." The whatever the hold hands, whatever that slogan was.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Hands across America.
Something like that.
Yeah, those are in red. So just the way he kind of like, boom, lets you know that here. He even put the title "Us" in the opening credits. He put that in red. So it's just slowly letting you know that color was a major factor, but you just don't realize it because it's just those subtle details. So that's one way he alerts you of the twist. And it was a bunch of them. Like I was trying to take notes the second time of how he did it. You got the color, you got the whole voice aspect of Red, the fact that she's able to speak and none of them are, in the way she speaks, sound like somebody who's like lost their voice but trying to get it back.
And she's still like, she uses simple words that a child would use.
Yeah, like even like how she started the story. She's like, once upon a time, because
there was a little girl.
Yeah, that's
and
how
the little
she's
girl
used
was
to.
a shadow. Like that's something that little kids would be saying because she went down there. When she was like 6 or 8, she didn't get exposed to bigger words. Her mind didn't get developed more.
Right, and I thought for Jordan Peele that was something great that he paid attention to. Like that's very small, just like how she speaks or how she tells a story, but when you piece it all together, that makes the most logical sense. Because, like you said, she was a kid. That's all. That's how she knows how to tell stories. That's all the stories that she heard. So I thought that was great on his part. When Adelaide, when the scene I mentioned before, where she's looking out the window, she's looking away from the camera. It's the same way, like when we first meet her in the mirror room, where she sees her, she's turned around for the first time.
Oh yeah. I didn't realize that. Yeah.
Yeah. So when once you come to the end and realize, oh, she was that little girl that the other one saw in the mirror room. That's when we first see her. She was faced the opposite direction. So I thought that was a cool little touch. Whenever Adelaide would kill people, she would start grunting and sounding like an animal more and more often. Especially when she killed herself at the end, and she went full tethered person with the ah. And she's literally like the way she was even showing her like teeth, and she was like an animal. And the tether people have animal-like behaviors because they went mad down there. So that was basically the full reveal. She kept looking for danger while the rest of her family kept just staying in the background. She's the one who kept looking for, like she's the one who kept going back in the house. She kept getting out the car. She's the only one who went and looked for her son. Like the dad was just playing in the background.
Facts. I'm sorry. The dad was very hard to respect as a father figure.
I'm gonna let you vent on that in a second, but I just thought that was the tether people. Were the more aggressive people, so
yeah.
She was definitely showing that. And then at the end as well, after she killed herself and she found her son in the locker, the way she just for some reason went out of her way to show him that it was her. Like she lifted up her hair. It's like, look, it's okay, it's me. Like he did. Like y'all never looked the same throughout the whole movie. So she was overdoing it because she fully realized that, okay, maybe the memories are starting to come back. I'm actually the person I thought I was fighting.
I think she knew. I just think that.
See, that's where we disagree.
I think that she knew who she was the whole time.
See, that's where we disagree. I don't think she knew. She got so used to the life that she lived that that's why she was feeling weird when she came back. She was like, something is really off about this place. Like, it was not that she was afraid to see this person. She was like, the last time I came here, I saw something creepy and my life changed, and I just don't know that feeling. So I think as the movie went on, she started to, like, more clues started to hit her, but I think in that instance, at the very end, she fully realized it. That's why when she's driving in the car, she's letting everything set in. She's like, wait, I think, I'm actually the person I thought I was fighting.
See, I think that when she's driving away, she's like, the girl can't tell, the girl who I trapped downstairs, she's dead now. She can't tell on me.
But she would have had more of a grin on her face. She had
she had a peaceful face.
No, she did not. When she was driving, she was just like...
And they were leaving. To me, it was like a calm, peaceful, they're not going to find out that I'm not a real person type of face. That's what I thought. I
think she came to that after the realization, like when her son looked at her, because her son knows something's up with her.
Her son does know. Yeah. But he can't prove it.
Yeah, but I think she came to that realization after he looked at her, because that's when she smiled like, well, I did what I did now, I guess.
See, whatever. I think she knew the whole time.
See, that's where we disagree.
Because she remembers being a child and not talking. She remembers
but just does. But you try to remember stuff that you did as you were 6 or 8.
But she doesn't remember anything before 6 or 8.
I don't remember anything around 10 or 12.
But you remember like small things, but she has like no memories before then.
But we're supposed to make it seem like it's like post-traumatic stress disorder, like something so crazy happened in there that it really just freaked her out and messed her up.
I think she knows. I just think that when they finally went back, she got a realization like, oh my gosh, they're actually out.
Okay, I mean, of course, you can look at it that way. Oh yeah, also one thing with the twist that I actually noticed the first time around, when she's talking to her friend Elizabeth Moss's character on the beach, and she's just looking at her like, you're not really talking, like, she's like, is something up? And she just said, where I've got the quote here. She's like, I just have a hard time just talking. And I thought that was very weird for her to say in that moment. But so when I watched it the second time, I was like, that's a clue because she had to basically learn how to speak as a kid. So she can easily speak, but it's not something that comes naturally to her like it would the rest of us. Because for 6, 8, 10 years, whatever she wasn't speaking at all.
Exactly.
So I thought that was a cool little scene. So just him dropping those tidbits, I thought was really dope. So kudos to Jordan Peele about that. And then, besides I thought the fight scene at the end was good. It was entertaining. I call it an artistic altercation because it was basically like two styles clashing when Red and Adelaide were fighting. And then the directing, I thought Jordan Peele did a great job. He, based off Get Out, I thought some aspects of Get Out are better, but directing, I think he really stepped his game up. Just some of the tracking shots he had, like at the very beginning, where we're just seeing everything from like Adelaide's point of view, like when she's with her mom and dad, and looking at the people around them, and then how they make that scene, they flip it, and then it comes back to the very end, and they show it from her position again, and then from Red or tethered Adelaide from her position down there. I just thought that was super dope, and it just looked like technically he's just growing as a filmmaker, so that was good to see. All right, let's get to I Know What You Just Want to talk about. Lay me something that you don't like about this movie.
I don't know. I just feel like Get Out. I don't know. I had very high hopes for this movie from Get Out and from the trailers, and I just feel like Get Out had like a better or a clearer message as to why things were happening.
So you don't like the messaging in this movie?
Right. I don't know.
Or the way it was delivered.
Right. Maybe just the way it was delivered. Like, I understand what happened. I get the movie.
You don't understand the messaging.
Right. Like the messaging behind it, I don't know if I completely understand it, and I feel like Get Out was a lot easier to get the messaging, and it made more sense to me.
You just don't like movies where you have to really think too hard and come up
Get Out made you think.
Yeah, but it was a conclusion that was pretty simple to come to. It was just how he delivered it was dope.
I don't know. I just what was the messaging behind this movie?
I have theories about what it's trying to say. Like, I feel like it's partially trying to talk about where is it at? Where is it at? I feel like it's trying to tell us different things. I feel like it's trying to tell us that we as a society are good and evil, and a lot of the times we don't know it because we're self-destructive, but we also do good things. That's why I think he put the twist in there of her actually being the person she thought she was trying to kill, because it's like, all right, so wait, who's really the good guy here? Like, I thought I was the good guy, but really I'm the bad guy, or quote unquote. And then I think with the people going out and really killing themselves, like all the tethered ones killed their lookalikes or killed their selves in the underground world, and that's just saying like we do that, we kill each other around here just in ways that we just don't know. We're just killing ourselves basically. And then I feel like there's also a classism element to the story, because they were these people below ground who were forgotten about and turned into crazy people eating garbage, basically eating rabbits, while everybody up there was eating nice, and just, the way you look at things, and people who have it nice they take it for granted, while somebody who has it awful down underground, they would love the opportunity to come up here and do that. Like when Elizabeth Moss's tethered version of herself was up in the bedroom putting on the makeup and just enjoying everything. It just seemed like somebody who was just happy to be there, as opposed to the above ground version who would never just enjoy the little things like lipstick and stuff because she has it at her disposal at all times. So, I mean, it's a lot of different things. That's why I feel like it's one of those movies you got to watch over and over again. But you're saying that you don't like that the message is so muddied in a way.
It's muddied hard. And very vague, and still, I don't know. I get I get what happened, and I get why the little girl who got stuck, the real Adelaide, the one who got stuck downstairs, want to come back and kill her person.
Yeah, because she trapped her.
Because she trapped her, right.
And she got to learn of the ways of the tethered people compared to how she was
right, but all of the tethered people weren't trying to kill each other before. So,
yeah, but she knew the life.
Right. But now she's convincing all the tethered people to come up and kill the rest of the world, when really the rest of the world didn't do anything to her. It was just that one tether person. If anything, she should have been mad at all the tether people. Like, I don't know. That just seemed weird to me.
Okay, I get it. Like, you're a robot. You want to?
No, I'm not a
robot.
People
to tell you how to feel and think.
This is what you're trying to tell me how to feel about this movie.
No, I'm just saying it's cool.
Like I said, if one person kidnapped me and stuck me in a room somewhere, I'm gonna be mad at that one person. I'm not gonna want the tethered versions, because now it's like, what if she wants her real parents killed because some tethered little girl stuck her like that? That's upsetting that you're gonna have your own parents killed because someone else kidnapped you and stuck you down there.
Well, this is what happens when you're put somewhere and you just go crazy. You just
I mean,
start getting mad at the world.
I guess she was only 6, so her mind wasn't mentally developed that well, but it's kind of strange.
Okay. What's something else you don't like about the movie?
I didn't like Winston Duke's performance that well. To me, he was just, I don't know, if my dad couldn't protect the family and was getting beat up all the time, and yeah,
he didn't get beat up all the time. He killed 2 people.
He got beat.
He had the high kill count.
He got beat up. Okay? He got beat up. He was walking around having to use the little golf cart or the golf club because his leg got hit before. Like, he just, I don't know if I could respect him as a dad going further. I don't feel like he protected them as a family.
I don't think you like his character.
The dad.
Yeah, but what about his acting in the movie? Did you like?
I didn't really like it.
Is it because he wasn't playing a tough guy? That was how you were introduced to him?
Yeah, it just didn't seem natural for him to play that type of character.
See, that's where, like, at first, I kind of got that inkling, but then as he went on, I started to respect his acting in that movie more because it was so different from how you've seen him originally. And it's funny because Jordan Peele originally didn't want to cast him in this role because he felt like it wouldn't be believable, basically coming off of playing a tough guy like M'Baku. He didn't want to do that, but once he saw him like actually act and deliver the role the way he wanted to.
I mean, I guess he could be a corny dad, but
I thought that he played the corniness well. I thought that's what he was going for, and I thought that he played it well. I just wish I understand Lupita's the lead and she deserves to be the lead, but it's like he kind of got forgotten about once the movie started to hit the third act, and that kind of was like kind of weird. They could have segued his character to the background more smoother than they did. It was basically just like, the kid got kidnapped, I'm running after him, I'm not telling y'all what I'm doing, we just gonna chill back here at the ambulance.
Yeah.
Alright. Anything else about the movie you didn't like?
No, it's just...
Those are just 2 big factors that bothered you?
Yeah, like I said, it's just, I like Get Out a lot better, and I was expecting more from Mr. Peele.
Okay. Lady, let go. Alright, just also before we go ahead and rate this movie, I do want to say I like the humor in the movie. It wasn't overdone. Because if you try to just throw a bunch of humor in a tense situation like this, it'll feel unrealistic. But the way they were cracking jokes, it felt realistic. If that makes sense. Like,
that well.
Just like the kill count joke when they were talking about who was going to drive, who had the most kills. Just like little subtle, it was subtle jokes. It wasn't like abundance of them, an overabundance of it. It was just like subtle jokes that you would think would fit in the moment. Like when they said, talk about Home Alone, and the daughter was like, what is Home Alone? Like that's probably something she would actually say in that situation. Yeah. But it wasn't a joke that lasted for forever. It was just a quick thing that would fit in the actual moment. So I thought he did that well. He like cut the tense moments with the right touch of humor. So even though I do feel like the story and like how he developed the story and message is not as good as Get Out, only because I feel like he was going for a more, like you said, vague. He wanted it to be more something you had to piece together more. I think that he had an issue with finding that middle ground of still developing the story well with the writing and the explanation in the moments that needed explanation and development, and that middle ground with that, and still wanted it to be vague, still something that's not all in your face. It's something you have to think about. So I feel like he could have did that better, but Get Out is definitely better in that aspect. The directing and just the overall things you need to do as a filmmaker, I thought he did that better in this movie. Mm-hmm. So even though I don't think this is better than Get Out right now, I think that this movie is still interesting, it's intriguing, it makes you think, and I appreciate that about movies, especially because I'm also the same person who likes dumb box office, shoot 'em ups, action, CGI fest as well. But I like the change of pace that these movies. I give everything a chance. I like all type of genre of movies.
I know.
All right, anything last you want to say about us? And not us, as in me and you. I know you get distracted.
No, I don't.
Okay, anything you want to...
I don't want to even talk about me and you.
Wow, okay, that's rude.
Not on camera.
Okay. Okay, so anything else you want to say about this movie?
No, that's all. We went over it.
All right, so do you need to be reminded of our couple?
I sure do.
All right, so we rate movies on a couple scale from famous couples in movies. So 5 is the best, 1 is the worst. Your 5 is Jack and Rose from Titanic.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
Oh, wow.
Ally and Noah is 4.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Hey.
Adonis and Bianca is 3. And I still disagree with that. 2 is Anastasia
Their movie
Christian.
wasn't a super love movie, okay?
I know, that's why I had to make concessions. They're from Creed. Ally and Noah is from Notebook.
Right.
Anastasia and Christian, which is 2, is from 50 Shades of Grey franchise.
Ooh.
They're basically like 1A, 1B to the 1, which is Bella and Edward from Twilight. What are you giving this movie, Us?
I'll give it an Adonis and, what's her name again?
Bianca.
An Adonis and Bianca.
Alright, so you're giving it a 3. This is a tough one for me. Is it a high 3 or a low 4? You know what, right now I'm going to give it a Ally and Noah.
I knew it.
Right now, I'm going to give it a low Ally and Noah, but things could change as time goes on because I've only seen this movie twice and it's only been out for a couple of days. Things could change.
Okay.